Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be talking to you today. I hope to do this every Friday, but life always catches up to me, and it's the weekend, and then I say next week. So I apologize for not doing it. I know that you guys like it, and I hope to be able to bring it to you every Friday. So today's subject I wanted to talk about, it's been coming up a little bit it's been a theme with my couples, and I think it's important to talk about it. It's fair fighting, which I would like to define a little bit. By fighting, I don't mean physical fighting. By fair fighting is just the way we therapists talk about arguments and or bickering, with your partner. I feel like it's important to have guidelines where the couple is aware of when they're having an argument. First and foremost, fair fighting. Fighting is very common, and it happens in every household, between every couple. To be honest with you, I would get concerned if a couple come in and they tell me that they never fought, or they never had an argument, or they never had disagreements. Oh, we get along on everything. If anyone tells you that they never fight or argue with their partner, they're definitely lying. So fighting is very common. It happens with every couple. Is actually in a way to bring the couple together. And it's not so important why the fight has happened. Couple of things is very important. It's, I'm looking at my notes because I want to remember to touch on certain stuff. Fighting it's not really the content that people are fighting about. Usually after a fight, when I talk to my couples that they come in, I ask them what the fight is about, and they don't even remember, because the content of the fight was not so important. It was about the effective communication part of it, and if either or partners felt validated, they felt like this was fair, or they were heard, or as typically women have an easier time regulating themselves, so they don't mind to be in an argument for a long period of time, where men have a harder time with arguments. And then that creates a cycle where the woman is upset and she wants to keep at it, and she doesn't feel that she's being heard, and the man in this case is feeling it's too much, because men have a harder time to regulate themselves. So then it becomes this like vicious cycle of she's screaming because she doesn't feel heard, and he keeps withdrawing because that's the way he knows how to protect himself. And so they keep going through this tornado, which doesn't fix anything. The most important thing that I want you to take from this video is how you come out of your fight, how you come out of bickering or arguing with one another. It's not really about why, it's about how. And how does that look like for you as a couple? What does that look like? Do you stop talking to each other for a week and then never talk about it again and then have it happen again? Or do you take time out, and which is the correct way actually, and I've written about that, taking the time out and having you both go and think about what works. And once that you've had time to calm down, then you can come back to it and talk about it and have an idea on why you're so upset and what could happen in order for this not to happen, or for you guys to figure it out in an easier way. So I think if you take anything out of it, it's that part. Most couples tell me that their fights becomes about who's right and who's wrong. And I really have to stress this. If one person loses for the partner to win, or you feel like you have to be right for your partner to be wrong, then it's a lose-lose situation. You have to both be winning. It has to be 100% on both parts, because if one person wins and one person loses, then the relationship is losing. And so it's not to the benefit of the relationship, and it's not doing you guys any good. So it's important that both, it's a win-win situation and both partners feel heard and feel validated. And if that takes time for it to happen, you need to take your own time to go think about what it is that you need from your partner. That's what needs to happen. You need to do that. Another thing is that I really want to stress is the whole idea of sharing disagreements as sort of the relationship. That tends to, in our culture, sometimes to be the norm, to, when you're upset with your partner, to talk to other people, to just vent. And it doesn't turn out to be a good thing, because at the end of the day, you figure it out and you work it out, and the other people who are outside of a relationship tend to hold on to that picture that you built about your partner, and it really affects their relationship with your partner. So I think I've touched on everything that was important about fair fighting. I hope you find it helpful. I really am trying to keep these videos short, because I know not everyone has time to watch it for a very long time. I wish everyone a wonderful weekend, and hope to see you next week. Happy Friday, happy weekend, and I'll see you next time.